This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. It's 1 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. This is a planning meeting, and it's concerning, we have 2 files today. So any person or public body is entitled to attend the public meeting and make written, oral submissions in support of or in opposition to any of the proposed zoning bylaw amendments. Written comment should be submitted to the clerk, Lindsay Green. If a person or public body does not make oral submissions at public meetings or make written submissions to the Township of Southgate before the zoning bylaw is passed, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of the Council of the Township of Southgate to the local planning appeals tribunal. And in addition, they may not be added as a party to the hearing of the appeal before the land planning appeals tribunal, unless in the opinion the board says it's reasonable grounds. So we'll start off with the first one. Maybe. There it is. Okay, so this is Amon and Elvina Bowman, and it's subject lands are concession 18 East, part lot 2 and lot 3, geographic township of Broughton, civil address 265068 Southgate Road 26. The purpose of the proposed zoning bylaw amendment application is to allow for an agricultural related use, being a small scale dry industrial use shop. The owners wish to add shop to the list of permitted uses for the agriculture A1 zone. The shop, including office power room, is proposed to be up to 750 meters squared with outside storage of approximately 500 meters squared. The effect of the proposed zoning bylaw amendment would be to change the zone on a portion of the subject property lands from agriculture A1 to agricultural exception to permit the dry industrial use shop. Any environmental protection boundaries may be adjusted based on Conservation Authority comments. Could I have confirmation that notice was posted, please?
Yes, Mayor Woodbury, proper notice was given in accordance with the Planning Act.
Okay, thank you. Clinton, how would you like to tell us what comments were received?
Thank you, Chair Woodbury. I'll pull up those comments now for you. The first comment I have is from Bell Canada, and in their review of it, says the information that municipalities provide to Bell Canada is instrumental to providing provisioning of telecommunications infrastructure. Bell Canada will provide a response should any comments input be required on the information included in the circulation. Bell does not generally comment on the following development applications: official plan, zoning bylaw amendments, part lot control, temporary use, and interim control bylaws. So yeah, they don't have any concerns in that regard. Next comment is the County of Grey. In the County of Grey, indicate that the proposed development is outside the areas covered by these designations and their adjacent lands. County planning staff have no concerns with the subject application. So they're fine there. Public Works indicated safe access can be provided. A road widening is not necessary. A commercial entrance is being installed. And the SVCA provided comments, and they indicate the proposal is acceptable to the SVCA staff. And that is all of the agency comments received. and there are no comments received at this time from the members of the public.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from council or comments? Martin? Wow, you're starting off strong with this meeting. Mute right away. Didn't wait till part way through.
Thank you. Yeah, hi, Clinton.
Afternoon.
These on-farm shops, I was just wondering on page 6 or page 8 of the agenda, part C, the proposal, and in item 29, it says, describes the reasons for the proposed amendment. It says to substitute the farm income and eliminate need for off-farm employment. Shouldn't that be, substitute's the wrong word there, isn't it? I'm just doing a little bit of housekeeping. It should be supplement, because if you get rid of this, if you get rid of the farm income, they can't put an on-farm shop on. So is that something that could be changed? Because people might look at that and say, well, what are we doing?
Yeah, and certainly we're not taking away agricultural uses. We're adding to them in this instance.
That's the only thing that popped in my head when I saw the report. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, seeing none. If the applicant or agent is present and wishes to say anything, if you could identify yourself and then go ahead. Okay, not hearing any this time. If there's any of the members of the public that would like to comment on this file, you can identify yourself and make your comment. Okay. In that long time of questions back and forth there from the public, did any more comments or questions come into council's mind? Barb?
I'll just ask the question through you to Clinton. Will the property owners at least be considering connecting to the grid as opposed to using fossil fuel generators to power their shops 24/7? I can understand the need for backup generators, certainly, especially around here. But I wondered if they would, or if they're starting to have that conversation.
As far as I'm aware, they haven't had that conversation yet, at least not with me. It's still being proposed by a genset. For what I understand, and I may be mistaken, what I understand is for religious reasons, but we can have that discussion more if council desires.
Okay, thank you. Martin? That's twice this afternoon.
With what Barb said about different forms of power, not using the diesel generators, the times are changing. Maybe we should talk to them about that, because I believe one of the industrial plants going up now is going to be using wind power. So they don't mind. We should look into it. It's a good point that Barb made. So anyway.
Okay. But yeah, and that'll be up to a council decision, not really discussing much of that on this file. Go ahead, Clint.
Two things there. First, your economic development officer was a little premature in advising that application you're talking about would be wind powered. That has since been taken off the table, and so disregard what she said, because that's not being proposed right now at this time. So when you see the application and don't see the wind turbine, you'll know why.
Thank you.
The other thing is, I'm not sure how much power the province has given through the Planning Act for us to regulate the type of energy that is used or by a use, and how we dictate, if we can even dictate that. So that might also require some discussion with our solicitor to see if that's even possible to say to people, no, we want you to use this particular kind of energy rather than creating your own for these reasons. Can we even do that? So I think there's a discussion we need to have to educate ourselves as well. I'm not confident we can dictate 100% what people can use unless there are extenuating circumstances. So that's my comments with respect to that.
Okay, so any other comments on this file? Okay, I'm not seeing any. So that this file is complete now, and we'll move on to the next. The next is for the Roslyn Outdoor Center. And it is concession 7, lot 8, geographic township of Proton. Civic address is 105261 Southgate Road 10. Purpose of the zoning bylaw amendment is to add a group home to the list of permitted uses. The group home will be limited to 10 residents and is a conversion of the existing building. The effect of the proposed zoning bylaw amendment would be to change the zone on a portion of the subject lands to permit group home use within the existing C5-211 exception zone. Any environmental protection zone boundary may be adjusted based on Conservation Authority comments. Could I have confirmation that notice was posted, please?
Yes, Mayor Woodbury, proper notice was given in accordance with the Planning Act.
Okay, thank you. And Clint, we'll turn to you for comments from agencies and the public.
Okay, I'll do that. There's 3 comments. We did receive the comments from the Conservation Authority late. So I have them here, and I believe they're on the website. They just will be uploaded to the agenda after the meeting. So the first comment here then is I have from Public Works, and they indicate a safe access can be provided and is existing. Road widening's not necessary. It's a load restricted road, and there are no additional comments there. The County of Grey, county staff recommend that MDS be considered and achieved to the proposed group home structure. In summary, county staff would support the completion of a floodplain study in order to ensure that safe all-season access can be achieved to the subject property. If a previous study has been undertaken or additional technical information can be provided by the Conservation Authority to address this consideration, this requirement may be waived. Staff would defer to SVCA staff to determine if an environmental impact study would be warranted for the proposed use. County staff have no additional concerns. So now we get to the SVCA, and they have reviewed the application, and they find that it's acceptable to the SVCA staff and are not recommending a floodplain or EIS be completed, primarily because it's a conversion of an existing building on the site and not the erection of a new building. So that is where that comes in, and there are no additional comments received. And I have no comments from the members of the public received. I did receive 1 phone call. Actually, the clerk received the phone call, and I returned it, and it was just asking questions regarding whether or not the residential use being proposed was going to be an all-year thing or whether it was temporary or not, which the camp currently is. It's not a 365 days, but this home would be.
Okay, thank you. Questions from council? Okay, that looks pretty straightforward. If the applicant or agent is here and would like to make any comments, state your name and address. Hi, Howard.
My address is 105261 Southgate Road 10. I am the owner of Camp Finkyra and Respite Program. I'm also the director of Active Lives Canada out of Dufferin County. For the past 6 years and more, Camp Finkyra has been running a adult and children's camp for adults with special needs. And since that time, we have volunteered out of Dundalk, Mount Forest, and the town of Arthur, doing car washes, Night of Too Many Pumpkins, the marketplace out of Mount Forest, pancake lunches, and more. Our goal has been to get our participants engaged in the town. And since COVID, a lot of our participants have been finding their life flipped upside down, like most of you. Since COVID, we've been running respite emergency programs where we've had adults with special needs come and basically stay on our property for long periods of time, going home over weekends, in order to give them a safe and secure place. Some of our participants have been living in condos or apartment buildings, causing problems with wearing masks by riding elevators up and down and not being able to wear their masks, and having other people who live in the building complain about it and making it a hard environment for them to get around in. They have been placed on our property and have had huge success and don't really have a place to go other than the camp property. And that's why we're looking at building this group home. When I was doing my research and speaking to Carrie's Place and speaking to Community Living, it's been interesting to find out that different counties have group homes all over, but Grey County is lacking that. And this group home will, from my understanding, be the first in Southgate Township, and will allow us to support adults with special needs. We're looking at supporting 8 adults. In the past, our camp has had notoriety by having Sam the Dancing Barista, who was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, basically learn job skills. And what we're trying to do is create a safe environment for adults to come on and live the rest of their lives and have a place where they can be a part of the community. And as I've experienced in the past, Dundalk is open and willing to support our guys and show them what it's like to be a Dundalkian and have that that spirit. And I can't wait for the group home to open in order for these 8 individuals to learn what Dundalk and Southgate is all about.
Well, thank you, Howard. And I got to say, it's been a pleasure of mine when I've been able to go out and participate in anything there and see what you're doing. I just marvel at all of it. So thank you very much. Now we have any questions from members of the public? If we do, identify yourself, please, and state your address. Okay. Further questions from members of council? Barbara?
Thank you. Through you, Mayor Woodbury. Hello, Howard. It's nice to see you after a few years of not. And I just wanted to add to Mayor Woodbury's comments how overjoyed and overwhelmed by that I was when we visited the property on all the great things that you've accomplished for these young adults. And I remember the story that you shared about a young person who had never communicated with his mom before, and you got them the right technology and the right computer, and gave them a way of communicating, and it still makes my heart beat a little faster, and the goosebumps on my arms just come a little higher just thinking about all the good things that you've managed to accomplish. So I did have a question, and it's because I'm familiar with the structure. Is there going to be an additional floor put on? Are you just staying within the footprint and the main floor of the existing structure, Howard?
So we're actually going to have two buildings added beside it, and we're going to make it into a bigger structure and into one identity, and have 8 bedrooms. I believe you guys have the drawings on it, but it will be all on one floor, just so they'll be able to walk around. Some have some mobility issues, so we wanted to keep it to one floor. There'll be a bathroom in each bedroom to allow them to have access to. We'll have a family room area and a dining hall area as well.
Sounds wonderful. So all the best to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Not seeing any further questions from council, then I'll declare this part of the meeting over, and look forward to seeing the progress as things go ahead, Howard. So thank you. Okay, so now we are to Brian's adjournment motion, and so I'll call it thus adjourned at 1:22, and I'll see most of you at the next meeting. Okay, bye now.